What is going on, friends? Sean Don coming back with the technical analysis. Here we have Caden West. He is a freshman that's just starting out throwing the weight. So, yeah, I'm going to try to do my best to help him out. All right. And if you have started your indoor season and you want to make some big gains towards the next couple months, even heading out into outdoors, go check out my website, gripandrip.co. Check out my coaching services page. You can get yourself an in-depth technical analysis just like this, as well as throws programming, lifting programming, whatever you might need, I can provide it for you to help you out. I'm here to make the best adjustments to your current training situation as I can, so you get better results and I get to be a happy coach because I got to help somebody out and pass the savings on to you. All right, so yeah, let's get into it. Let's take a look at Caden's videos. I got a couple here. This one, just a one turn. All right, as you can see, it's really hard to do anything with a one-turn weight throw analysis. So here we have this two-turn weight throw analysis, and I'm sorry in advance, Caden. Unfortunately, you fell. But yeah, I think we're going to review this one just because there's a little bit more to it. But if we want to do a quick run-through of this one-turn really quick, I'm going to do so. So just to give you a little bit of idea, you're a freshman, you have no idea what you're doing from the sound of it. And based on your throw, there's just you're just young, you're inexperienced, you don't really know what you're doing yet. So to start out, number one, this big, just where this ball is right now in the throw. All right, you can see it's very up, very high, shoulders level. All right, what goes up must come down. It's going to come down and crash on you. It kind of pulls you down, pulls you forward, and then comes back up. And that's going to be kind of the same thing through entry, as you can see. Like you're very much just ahead of it, pulling it through. You haven't quite figured out how to work with the ball yet, which is understandable. You're a freshman in college. You don't really know what you don't know yet. So with that, you can see very pulley through entry, and there's just a big jerky disconnection right here as the ball stretches out in front of you because you are just a little bit too active with the body. Then as you go through double support, you can see your hips are down, your chest is down, your posture's not that great, and then you kind of lift up, as you can see here, very much through the hips and the shoulders and the arms. You can even see your hands kind of above the level of the ball, and then you go to catch into that next turn, and then same thing, eyes down, not very connected through the body, and then as the ball comes crashing down, you're pulling up and fighting against it, and you can see you barely get the ball out into the sector. So yeah, you're just young, you're inexperienced. I'm sorry if I sound harsh, but yeah, it's just you're new and you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know quite how your body works in conjunction with the hammer, with the weight just yet. So yeah, just to take one more look at this video, we'll do a more proper analysis here, since there's a little bit more going on here. So first and foremost, Caden, go watch my video, How to Throw Weight Like a Fucking Boss. It's on my YouTube channel. I've done a good bit of weight throw content because it seems to be the easiest thing to help people get better. So number one, like I said in the previous video, this big preliminary swing, don't do it. And then keep the ball low, keep it flat. You want it flat orbit, all right? So the more the ball comes up, the more the ball goes down, the more the ball pulls on you. And as you're younger and probably smaller and weaker than a lot of your competitors or your upperclassmen, that sort of thing, you know, you got to be smart when it comes to your techniques. You got to keep it simple. You got to keep it easy. And the more fancy stuff you try to do, the higher you bring the ball in the preliminary swing, the harder it's going to make it on you when it comes to your technique. So same thing pertains in that one turn. But the biggest thing you got to learn is just how to turn with the ball. You got to be slow. You got to be controlled. You got to be connected. So do a lot of turning drills. Do sets of 5 turns, 10 turns, really slow and controlled. Use a static start. Use a wraparound. Use a nice easy sling start, because this, as you hear, you can see, like I said, it's just very jerky. It's like you're kind of really pulling with the body, and then you're just trying to throw harder than I think your body and your technique allows for right now. So go slow, go easy. And then, as I've said before, you're not really throwing weight or throwing hammer if you're doing less than 3 turns. So I'd rather you take things a little bit slower, try to figure out how to do 3 turns, and then that'll help a lot going forward in the future. So yeah, as you go through entry, like I said, just a little bit jerky here. So you got to relax the arms a little bit, and you got to move your whole body with the ball. So as the ball is coming through to the right, you can see you're already opening up and trying to pull it around through this entry. All right, you got to chill out, straighten that right arm out, cast the ball out to the right. You go on a long sweeping orbit here. If your body is ahead of the ball, you're not really going to be connected with it. So then the ball, as you can see, kind of jerks on you here. And then from there, it's not that bad, honestly. After the ball connects and you connect to the ball, things are a little bit better. But try to smooth out that entry, that swing, that sling start, and just go a little bit slower. And make sure you have good posture set as well. As you can see here, your hips sit back to the right sector, and it's away from the ball, and your chest is kind of down. So you want to have your chest up, hips underneath you a little bit more, and then just control and have good posture, set good posture, find stability in the body, and then let the ball go through zero. All right, because when you sink here with the hips, you sink down and back, you can see you have this big extension upwards through the hips and the upper body, and you're kind of pulling back. And then as you go through double support, you can see you're kind of high on that left leg. You're up off the ground almost. And then when you go to catch, what goes up must come down once again. So then you catch, chest is forward, hips are back, hips aren't connected, and then you can see your chest and eyes and everything kind of looking down at the ball. So you don't really have a good awareness of where you're at in full 360 degrees of the throw. And then when you catch, I must say you do that better, where you go to step and you step forward towards the sector, which is good. Not too many people do that. So you just got to fix some of the other things. I said the posture and just your overall awareness. You're young, you don't know what's going on. As you go through zero, you can see this left side kind of going crazy here, straightening up, pulling up, left side up, shoulder up, and then you never really quite finish the turn completely, if that makes sense. You just kind of get through zero, and then you're hoping like, all right, I hope the ball gets in the direction of the sector. But what happens is, as you finish this turn, your right foot's on the ground, sure, but it looks like you're not really turning with the ball. Like I said, you're just kind of pulling up and back on it. You see the ball gets steep, steeper than it did in the previous turn. You go to catch, come off the ground a little bit. Like I said, what goes up must come down. And you come down, and the ball's pulling, gravity's working really hard against you here, pulling you forward, pulling you down, and you're doing your best to fight out of it, but you're young, and you haven't quite figured it out yet, and sometimes the weight teaches you a lesson. So, yeah, you get thrown a little bit, but nothing to be ashamed of. It happens to us all, especially when we first starting out. You trip over yourself, you fall over. It still happens to me. It happens to everybody every now and then. All right, so don't feel ashamed about it. But yeah, man, you're just young. You're just a beginner, and you just got a lot more work to do. Like I said, stick drills. I have plenty of content on my YouTube channel. Go check out my drill series for learning hammer throw and the weight throw. That'll be really helpful for you. Check out my how to throw weight like a fucking boss video. That'll be really helpful for you. And just try to absorb as much as you can. You're young. You just got to slow down, find better posture, find better connection, feel the tension coming from the hammer, and then learn to stay one level. Because like I said, you're rising up with the ball and you're sinking down with the ball. It kind of needs to be almost the opposite. So yeah, hopefully this helps. I know it's probably not the most in-depth technical analysis because you're so young and there's just really not too much to tell you just yet. So go check out some of my other videos. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm happy to help. I implore you to maybe check out my throws programming. That might be very useful for you, just to get a little bit more structure and consistent technical feedback. And same goes for anybody else out there. If you are interested in any online programming, go check out my website, gripandrip.co. Shoot me a message on Instagram at SDThrows. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I can help steer you and guide you in the right direction. All right, so thank you for watching. Until next time, Sean Don signing off.